Now, a few months ago, I got this in the mail. Something I was kind of excited about. This is a challenge coin or an LTT coin from Linus Tech Tips. Basically, you bought this. It looks super cool. Like these are made with rejected parts from their screwdriver. Whatever metals inside it, they had rejected ones. They needed to melt back down, and they made coins out of it. The cool thing with these coins, it came with the digital code. So if you spent $20 on a coin, which I did, you get $40 of credit at their store. So I've been looking for a way to display this thing to make it look more interesting, just so it's not sitting in this little plastic or paper bag thing. So let's go ahead and jump in and 3D print a solution. Okay, the first thing I did was I grabbed Linus Tech Tips logo here and downloaded its SVG and brought it into Affinity Designer. What I want to do is I want to get the size properly and also in the correct format so I can bring it in Onshape and 3D print it from there. I know there's other ways to do this, but this is how I'm going to do it. But the first thing I need to do before I do any of that stuff is to change the space or the units of this thing. Because right now it's in pixels and we don't do that when we're going through this all. So we're going to go up to File, Document Setup, and then we have our document units. I'm going to change that over into inches and hit OK. Now I can see that it's a 5-inch circle. I don't want it to be that. I do want to make sure they are linked together. But the diameter that I measured for the actual thing when I did it with dial calipers was 1.974 inches. So I'll click on that, and I didn't do it for both of them, so I'll just copy that over and paste that so it retains that relationship, and we're good there. Now that we have this properly resized, there's still more we need to do in order to get it ready to be used inside of Onshape. Onshape doesn't really care about having this whole area filled in because it works on lines, not necessarily fill. So we need to provide it lines to do so. So we're going to go up to stroke and just make sure that it does have a stroke. I'm just going to put it as 1 pixel. The size doesn't really matter. And then we're going to get rid of the fill entirely. So we just get the outlined areas there, and we'll refill that in with a closed loop when we print it all out. But that's the setup. From there, I'm going to go File and Export. We'll choose our DXF. It doesn't really matter if we use one or the other. This is just the one I picked. I'll export it and I'll save it over to my desktop, and I'll replace the one that I currently have in there. After that, we're going to jump into Onshape and we're going to upload that in there. So to pull these files inside of Onshape, it's not that big a deal. We first have to start off with a sketch. So I'm going to go to Sketch, click on my front view, and rotate over to it just because I'm me. After that, we're going to go up to this Insert DXF or DWG. It may be Insert Image for you, depending on where your settings are. But I'm going to go in there. I'm going to import that file. And it's going to take a second or two to process. If you click on this right away, it's not going to do anything. You'll see a little green bar that will pop up here. There it is. It's opened. So now I can click on it and I'll hit my green check and it should import that in. I can't do a lot with this file as far as doing like dimensions and stuff with it right now. There are other ways to do that I could talk about down the road. But just a general idea here from here to the edge, you can see is the 1.974, which is why I resized it in the other software and not here, because I think it's a little easier to have it all set properly. So then I'm going to finish my sketch, and we're just going to extrude just the LTT part of that logo. And I'm going to do 1/8 of an inch. It's not going to be anything big deal or wild or crazy, but this is going to serve as our insert for the coin holder, and then we'll design the rest of the coin holder around this so we can have that all set. So there's the full 3D version of it. I'm going to export this and throw it onto the printer, and while it's printing, I can start designing the rest of the stand. Now this one came out really nice. I printed it face side down, so I got the textured front on there because the back texture on the top layers sometimes can be a little messy, and I wanted it to have a little more texture to it than just being pure smooth. So this one's there, and if you take a look compared to the size of this, they fit,
also to my knowledge,
like exactly on top of each other. They're really fun. They work perfectly. They are right on the same thing. So now we need to design the stand that this is going to go into, because this is going to be an insert that we could put in and potentially remove if we want to, and same with the coin. We could put it in or remove it if we needed to. All right, so that's out in the printer now. I'm going to create a new part studio here, and we'll figure out what exactly we need to do. I'm going to start here by just making a sketch of a circle, so we know the general size that we're dealing with. We know that the print that we're doing now is 1.974. And I'm going to add a 5 to the end of that just to be just a slight bit larger. That's going to give us the basic size of what we need to do. And then I'm just going to extrude that 1/8 of an inch or so. There's no real rhyme or reason to do this. This is just going to serve as my outside layer for all the things that I want to continue to do. So I'm going to sketch on the back here, and we're going to make another circle. And we're just going to pull that out there. We can drag this out to be a little bit larger. There we go. And then I'm just going to dimension from here to our outer circle. I want that to be 1/8 of an inch as well. I don't know why, I just kind of like that number. And then I'm going to extrude all of that, and we're going to switch the direction. We're going to make sure it's adding on to become part of this. And previously that was 1/8 of an inch. And I actually don't know how thick the coin is, so I need to check that and see where this is going to go in, and also add on the thickness of the print that we're doing, which we already know is 1/8 of an inch. So taking a quick look here, it's 1.55. So I'm just going to do 1.25 plus 1.75, just to give it a little bit more heft there. And then we have space. The insert will go in here, and then the coin will fit over top of that. And it should be snug enough that it'll be fine. But the other thing I want to do is I want to add on a base that has an angle to it, so that we have a little bit more to go on here. So I'm going to sketch on the front here. And then we're going to figure out exactly what I want with this in general here. So we'll do that. I'll dimension between this and that, just so we have a known distance of 0. It's going to give me a base to work off of. And then from there, I can kind of just bring my base out, over, and back in. I don't know anything about these right now, but what I do know is that I want them to be equal length. So I'm going to go to the little equal sign up here, hit the letter E. So these two are going to be equal to each other. And then I can go into dimension here and say, hey, I actually think this should be, I don't know, 45 degrees. Okay. And then if I want to, I can make this tangent with that, just so we have that. I don't want that necessarily to be the case. I do want a little bit more meat on that, because we're going to have to change the size there a little bit. So maybe I'll do like a 1/16. There we go. All right. And is there anything else? Oh, we should probably define the size of the bottom here. And we're going to say that's going to be 2 inches. We want to make sure that is centered. So let me undo that real fast. We'll go here. I'm going to drop a construction line from our origin, which we know is the dead center. It's the only fixed location we have, down to, and I'm going to find the midpoint on this. Fantastic. And then I can dimension from one side to the other. I can say, hey, I want that to be 1 inch. And I'm just going to put a V or vertical on that to lock that in place. And there we go. Now what I can do is I can take this whole thing, this shape here, I'm going to extrude it the other direction. And we'll have a little bit more work to do here in a moment, but we're going to get started with this. And I'm going to have that add on going back. That's 1 inch is fine. And then we'll figure out the rest of this. But the next thing we need to do is we're going to need to cut an angle into this. So part of this angle here is going to have to come off so that this thing can kind of angle backwards. So I'm going to sketch on the side of this. I actually might sketch on just the right here, just to get a better idea of where I'm at with everything. And bring that down like so. I can reference this as my 0 mark, just because it helps me out with all that. And then we need to figure out what we're doing as far as the angle goes to get that to lean back. So that means this should be going from here and going upwards like so. So we're going to have to go in and cut out, once we have a chance here, we're going to go in, stop it. We're going to go in and cut a line somewhere along this route. Don't know exactly where it's going to go, but that's the setup. All right, so I think roughly 15 degrees is going to be a workable solution. Again, I don't really know, but I think it should be all right. I just need to make this line here vertical. And then we got to set in our dimension here between where this should go. It should get right on that corner. I'll have to go in and dimension all of that to make sure we get that put in there properly. So from there to there should be a known dimension. And it should match what our extrusion here was. So I just need to go back into that extrude, not that one. It should be this extrusion, 0.3. So when I go into sketch 4 here and dimension that 0.3, that lines everything up perfectly. We're good. And then this bottom triangle we're going to cut out. So I'll just go to extrude. And right now the sketch is inside of this. So what you can do is you can go to this little drop down here. And once you're inside there, you can go to section view. And you can click on your section plane, which I'm going to click on the right plane. And it's going to allow me to see inside of the part, so I can actually select the part of the sketch that I would like to remove, which is that bottom area there. I'm going to remove, and it's going to go, we'll do blind. And then we'll do symmetric, and we're just going to say it's 2 inches. And then I can turn my section view off. You can see that it will do that for both of those. So it goes through and cuts through both of those. And with the circle included on there, it looks kind of neat. It comes to a little bit of a sharp ending there, but that's okay. And then we're just going to round out or put some chamfers in some of these other corners here. So like this little edge there is going to get rounded over. This one is also going to get rounded over. Let's do 1/4 of an inch. That should be fine. And beyond that, I think we're pretty good shape. I might put some roundovers on this stuff just to, maybe not quite as much, maybe 1/8 of an inch. Yeah, it rounds that all over. Fantastic. And then the last piece I want to do is put a chamfer on the entire front edge here. It's at a 32nd of an inch, which I think will be fine. And the point of that is 2 things. One, it stops the sharp edges, so when you're getting things in and out of there, it's not going to be as sharp. But also, it feels nicer to the hand. And I'm going to do the same thing to the back here as well, as chamfer the entire back edge of that. And if that doesn't work, I don't really care about the bottom. All I need to do is the outside edges. So I'll go to chamfer and click on that outside edge. It will do that. And then the last thing I might do here, just for some additional strength, is throw on fillets in this area. I don't know if it will work. Try a 16th. That seems to hold. And I'm not going to worry about all that. This is not like a functional part in the sense that's getting used a lot. It's a functional part in the sense that we're just printing what's there. So that's going to be that thing set up. We'll export this one. We'll go print it. I'm going to print this one in black because the black and orange color scheme is kind of what they do. And then we'll put it together and see how it works. And here's the stand. It came out really nice. You can see the top layers here look really good. There's nothing big deal. It holds everything, no problem. And then we're going to take this and put it inside of there. Nothing wild or crazy, but I just want to make sure that they fit in there real nice. You can see that it snaps in a little bit. The problem right now that I have is there's not a very big difference. If you take a look here, it's not a lot of space to put the actual coin. So this looks super cool, and I can actually see like putting channels and stuff like this just as the insert. I think they're cool, but when we're talking about putting the coin on there, the coin is going to fall out. So I need to change the depth of this a little bit, or just not include it at all and just have it be for the coin itself. Now, my only nerve about putting this inside of here is I didn't make an easy way for it to get out. I have shims and stuff where I could stick it in there, but it's a really tight tolerance. What I should have done is put a hole in the back of this so that I could pop it out really easy. But I'm not concerned about the orange insert right now. I'm also not concerned about getting this out if I need to. I can just break this apart. This is like a 20-minute print, so it's not a big deal. So there it is, the final thing. I'm pretty happy with how that came out. There's obviously a few changes that need to be made, but in general, I'm pretty happy with the solution that we have for that little problem. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.